Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a horror film, Carrie. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins with a deluded religious extremist screaming in pain. She prays to God, asking for forgiveness, thinking she is punished with cancer, unaware she is in labor. Then she sees an infant slowly getting out in between her legs. She thinks it is a test from God, so she attempts to kill the baby girl with a pair of scissors. But she changes her mind and embraces her. Years later, the girl turns into an introverted, antisocial young lady named Carrie. She is naive and strangely gazes at her classmates wearing revealing clothes and doing nasty things. While her classmates are playing volleyball in the water, she stands in the corner. The teacher asks her to join, and she accidentally hits the popular girl called Sue. A bully girl named Chris mocks her, and everyone laughs at Carrie. After that, Carrie takes a shower and suddenly gets her first period. When she notices blood from the soap, she panics, screams, and asks the girls for help, thinking she is dying. Chris realizes it is her menstruation, so she makes fun of her by throwing tampons. The rest of the girls start doing the same. While Chris films her crying, Sue suddenly feels bad for her, but she lets her friends do it. Then the gym teacher arrives. Carrie continuously freaks out, so the teacher slaps her on the face to calm her. As the girls leave, Carrie angrily looks at the light, making it shatter. Afterward, the gym teacher accompanies her to the principal's office. The principal is more interested in punishing the bullies. Since Carrie does not want to point a finger, he assigns the teacher to decide on their punishment. When the principal says they need to call her mom, Carrie gets tense, afraid of her mom finding out about her period. Suddenly, the water jag shatters, then she runs her smelly ass off. Later, Mother comes to pick her up. Sue guiltily looks at Carrie getting into their car. Carrie looks at the girls watching her video and curiously gazes at Chris and her boyfriend Tom wrestling, which makes her mom upset. When they arrive home, Carrie asks her mom why she did not inform her about menstruation, but her mom ignores her and goes inside. Inside their house, she finds her mother banging her head against the wall while praying. Carrie tries to calm her, but she continues to pray and asks her to say the Bible verse she invented. Mother forces her to say that the first sin was the sin of intercourse and that period is cursed blood. But Carrie knows it is false, as her teacher has informed her about menstruation. Mother tells her she has sinned as she took a shower with the girls, and now she has become like them. She tells Carrie that she must be different, but Carrie disagrees and insists that she wants to be normal like them, so Mother hits her with a Bible. Carrie argues that she misinterpreted God, but Mother tells her she will keep her away from school, so she walks out. Mother gets enraged when Carrie tells her she is the sinner, so she forcibly locks her in the prayer room to ask for forgiveness. Carrie cries in frustration, and the door suddenly cracks as she yells angrily. Mother gets shocked while Carrie looks around, and frighteningly sees the effigy of Jesus starts bleeding. Meanwhile, Sue and her boyfriend are in the car, doing a smelly workout. 2 minutes later, they finish, and Sue tells him she feels guilty for what happened to Carrie, so he tries to console her with his exhausting muscles. Simultaneously, Chris is remorseless, and she even decides to upload Carrie's video on the internet. Mother sings a psalm while she serenely sews clothes. She seems to have forgotten their argument and checks on her daughter in the prayer room. The following day, the gym teacher meets the girls. She confronts Chris and Sue and then points out the video posted by Chris. She punishes them with a suicide run, where they will sprint for an hour, and anyone who defies will be suspended and barred from attending the prom. While they are almost done with the activity, Chris protests against their punishment. The gym teacher gets infuriated. She suspends her and declares she cannot attend the prom. Chris encourages the other girls to protest, but no one supports her, even Sue. She's disappointed with them, so she leaves and promises to get her revenge. The video has spread in the school, so students are making fun of Carrie as they vandalize the lockers. So Carrie goes to the bathroom feeling humiliated. Burning with rage, she gazes at the mirror, making it shatter. She gets shocked and amazed as she discovers she can use her mind to control objects. Carrie gets curious. She goes to the library to learn about psychokinesis. She reads books and watches videos about the power to move things. In the class, the teacher calls Carrie to share her favorite poem. Some of her classmates are laughing at her. Then her teacher thanks her and thinks she scared them. Sue's boyfriend finds it offensive, so he murmurs a swear word. The teacher asks him to say it louder, so he says it is fantastic. Carrie feels shy about getting complimented, and Sue observes Carrie after her boyfriend defends her. Meanwhile, Mother works in the sewing shop and gets irritated when she is disturbed by Sue's mom, who comes to pick up a dress. Sue's mom apologizes for what the girl did to Carrie. Mother expresses her anger by slashing her leg as Sue's mom continues talking about the prom, which she considers ungodly. Simultaneously, Chris is accompanied by her lawyer father and the principal. He tries to defend her and argues against their punishment. Chris plays the victim and accuses her teacher of abuse of power. But when asked to check her phone to prove her innocence, she refuses. Her father convinces her to hand it, but she leaves, proving her guilty. Chris then goes to the gym and sees the girls preparing the venue. She confronts Sue for not taking her side, but Sue tells her they deserve the punishment since Carrie has never wronged them. That night, Carrie explores her powers by levitating the books and things around her. Mother notices the noise. She enters the room, but Carrie pretends to be sleeping. The following day, Sue requests her boyfriend to take Carrie to the prom as compensation for what they did to her. Although her boyfriend disagrees, Sue insists that she's willing to surrender that fun experience for Carrie to enjoy instead. Although he doubts Carrie will agree, Sue's boyfriend walks to Carrie, who reads in the cafeteria. He asks her to be his date, but when Carrie looks around, the students gaze at them. She immediately walks out, but he chases her. She doubts his intention and thinks they are trying to prank her, so she runs off. Later, the gym teacher finds Carrie in the locker area, crying. Carrie tells her that Sue's boyfriend invited her to the prom. Although the gym teacher finds it suspicious, she encourages her to go. Then the gym teacher confronts the couple, Sue and her boyfriend, as she is concerned about Carrie. She warns and asks them to reconsider if they will only prank Carrie. Sue insists they are serious and that her boyfriend will convince Carrie. Afterward, Carrie walks home and suddenly notices Sue's boyfriend in front of their house, so she hurriedly approaches him. Sue's boyfriend convinces her that it's because they have the same interest in books and that he will not leave unless she agrees. Carrie is afraid of being caught by her mom, so she suddenly agrees. The next day, Carrie shops for the dress. Unfortunately, Chris and her friends notice her from across the street. While Carrie is excited about her dress, Chris bitterly observes her. Afterward, Carrie walks home, terrified to see her mom worriedly awaiting her. Upon entering their house, Carrie explains she went to look for a dress and informs her that she was invited to the prom. Mother stops, and Carrie convinces her that she does not want to be different and be like other girls. But still, Mother forbids her from going to the prom. As Mother continues to lecture her, Carrie gets frustrated. Due to her anger, she suddenly levitated things around them, which shocked them both. Mother prays, and Carrie tells her to stop, but she continues. So Carrie levitates her. Then she calls her a witch, who a devil has taken over. Carrie explains that it is normal and supposes she has inherited it from her father. Mother gets upset and says she got cancer from her father, thinking Carrie was cancer, which insulted her. Before Carrie releases her mom, she declares she will go to the prom. Meanwhile, Chris' boyfriend helps her to get revenge. They go to a piggery to kill a pig and collect its blood, which they will use for Carrie. While Sue is helping set up the prom venue, she suddenly feels nauseous and runs to the bathroom. Later, Chris and her boyfriend set up the bucket of pig's blood on the gym stage, planning to spill it on Carrie as she steps on stage. Simultaneously, Carrie excitedly sews her prom dress. Prom day comes, and Carrie gets herself looking splendidly beautiful. She also feels nervous, but her mom says her outfit is indecent, asking her to change and pray for forgiveness. She tries to convince Carrie to stay and slaps herself, but Carrie is determined. Mother then tells her she is being tricked, and everyone will laugh at her. Carrie tells her she's already nervous, but optimistic about her date. Just then, Sue's boyfriend arrives to pick her up. Mother keeps preventing her from going, which irritates her. She uses her power to zip her mouth and locks her in the prayer room. Mother thumps the door, so Carrie turns on the radio to conceal her mom's noise before leaving. She then makes her way out, and Sue's boyfriend gets stunned when he sees her beauty. Later, the two arrive at the venue. But Carrie is nervous, so he makes her feel calm. Then they go together. He immediately introduces her to his friends, and Carrie feels shy when she sees Chris' friends looking at her. Seconds later, everyone is having fun. The gym teacher notices Carrie. She compliments her, while Sue's boyfriend leaves and updates Sue that everything's great. Afterward, Sue's boyfriend invites her to dance with him. Carrie feels nervous, so he guides her on how to dance. Eventually, she feels happy and becomes comfortable with him. Moments later, Chris and her boyfriend sneak into the venue and prepare to execute their plan. The students vote for the prom king and queen. Carrie feels afraid and excited, as Sue's boyfriend encourages her to vote for themselves. Then one of Chris' friends collects their votes, which makes Carrie suspicious. Subsequently, Chris sends a message to Sue, implying they will do something to Carrie. Sue feels terrified, so she immediately drives to the venue. Chris excitedly looks at her friends, who manipulated the ballot box. Suddenly, her boyfriend reminds her they must escape immediately later, afraid they will be jailed if caught. Subsequently, Sue arrives and hurries inside the venue, seconds before Carrie and Sue's boyfriend are announced as prom king and queen. Carrie feels delighted. People applaud as they walk onto the stage, while Sue worriedly looks for Chris. Suddenly, Sue notices Chris above the stage about to spill the bucket. However, the gym teacher sees her and thinks she will ruin Carrie's momentum. So the gym teacher immediately drags Sue and locks her in the room without letting her explain. Suddenly, Chris pulls the rope and soaks Carrie in blood, and everyone gets shocked. Sue's boyfriend swears in anger. After that, Chris plays Carrie's video on the monitor, and the students laugh at her. Then her boyfriend drags her to escape. While the students keep laughing, the gym teacher tries to rescue Carrie and comes forward, but Carrie loses control and immediately pushes her using her power, shocking everyone. Just then, the empty bucket drops on Sue's boyfriend's head, which kills him promptly. Chris gets shocked, as it is not part of the plan, but her boyfriend drags her away immediately, while Sue anxiously tries to look for a way to get out. Meanwhile, the students get shocked, and Carrie feels sorrow for Sue's boyfriend and cries in grief. As she looks up, she notices sunglasses and gets a hint. Due to Carrie's strong emotions, she reveals her power to punish all of them. She pushes the crowd away in just one powerful scream and turns the venue into chaos. The students try to escape, but she locks the exits. She puts the place on fire as she breaks the electrical wires and uses them to kill the students. Then she keeps the gym teacher safe on the stage and goes out to find Chris and her boyfriend. Chris tries to ask for her father's help, but her boyfriend assures her they will escape the town. Unknowingly, Carrie chases them. As they drive away, Carrie destroys the road. Suddenly, they see Carrie standing in their way, so Chris orders her boyfriend to run her over. He speeds up, but with Carrie's power, she stops the car. The impact is so strong that it immediately kills her boyfriend. Carrie and Chris gaze at each other. As Chris tries to escape, Carrie locks the car, but Chris tries to run over her again. However, with Carrie's power, she lifts the car, and when Chris steps on the pedal, she throws the car into the gas station. Carrie looks at Chris slowly dying, and before she leaves, she blows up the car. After that, Carrie returns to her senses. She cries and goes home when she sees her body full of blood. She looks for her mom, who is not in the prayer room. She goes to wash her body. She feels sorry after realizing what she has done. Later, Mother shows up. Carrie immediately hugs her while crying, telling her she was right about her being subject to ridicule. Mother tells Carrie that God has punished her and her husband for making love, and that she is so weak that she asked God to keep her. After that, she asks Carrie to pray. As they kneel while hugging, Mother stabs her in the back, trying to end her miserable life. But Carrie uses her power to escape, and Mother chases her with a knife. She tries to stab her, so Carrie summons some sharp objects, pins her down, and kills her. Subsequently, Carrie cries in regret while holding her dying mother. Suddenly, Sue arrives at their house and tries to comfort her. Carrie is about to kill her too, but she senses that Sue is pregnant and tells her it is a girl. Carrie puts her outside to save her, as she slowly destroys their house while holding her mom. Sue is still shocked, and she watches the house crumble. Afterward, Sue sits in the court and explains what happened, although they find it unbelievable. She then visits Carrie's grave. The final scene shows Sue in the hospital screaming as she gives birth. Suddenly, a bloody hand emerges from her. Just then, she wakes up crying in horror while her mother holds her. She is afraid she will give birth to Carrie. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.